Hello, in this video I will be talking about how to use micropipettors correctly to accurately and precisely get the correct volume. So first of all, this video is going to consist of two parts. The first part is talking really about the different micropipettors that we have and how to choose the correct micropipetter for your job. The second is how to then accurately use the micropipettors. Now you'll notice that I have 5 micropipettors in front of me. Really there are only 3 different micropipettors here. There are the P1000 micropipettors, the P200 micropipettors, and the P20 micropipetter. Now these may look very different, but they're really just 2 different brands of the same instrument. There will be a few differences when we use these type of micropipettors that I'll talk about, but for the most part I'll concentrate it on these micropipettors and how to use them. So first, the P1000. The P1000 has a usable volume from 100 microliters to 1,000 microliters. You need to use the blue pipette tips with the P1000 micropipettors. The P200 micropipettors can go from 20 microliters to 200 microliters. And you will want to use the yellow tips with these. Now you will also want to use the yellow tips with the P20 micropipetter. This goes from 2 microliters to 20 microliters. Now you don't want to go outside of these usable volumes with these micropipetters because if you do, you will not be getting an accurate measurement of the volume you're trying to pipette. The other reason why you definitely don't want to do this is you can throw off the calibration of these instruments and make it so that they don't pipette the correct volume within its usable range. So you should never force a micropipetter, regardless of the type that you're using, to go beyond its usable volume. Now if we look at how to use these micropipettors, you'll notice that with this brand right here, there's always going to be 3 digits here. Now the top digit is always the largest digit that you can use. So for the P1000, that is going to be the 1000th digit. So you're going from 1,000 microliters, reading 100 as the top volume, to 100 microliters being the smallest volume. So 0100, or 010, just a single 0 in there. Currently it's set at 500 microliters, so this would be a half a milliliter volume. So how do we use the micropipettors correctly? First of all, you're going to want to make sure that you're choosing the correct tips. So I've got the P1000, I'm going to choose the blue tips. Now I'm going to put the micropipetter tip into the tip so that it's firmly fashioned. I can then push down this top plunger. So this top plunger, if I push it down, I'll eventually feel some resistance. This resistance that you feel at first is called the first stop. You'll notice that if you increase your pressure, you can push it beyond that initial resistance to another stop, your second stop. Now when pipetting the correct volume, so right now I have it set to 050 for 500 microliters. I'd want to push it down to this first stop to make sure that I have the correct volume in there. I'm then going to put the tip into the liquid and slowly release it. You want to allow about 1 to 2 seconds of time to allow the correct volume to go in there. Once that's up, I can pull it out of the liquid and pretty much wave my hand around until I'm ready to pipette it into the next volume. Notice that I'm not tipping this upward, I'm keeping it down. There's a vacuum created that's going to help keep the water pushed up into the tip so that you don't lose it. Then when I want to pipette it into it, I can stick it down into the liquid and I can push it down. Now I pushed it down to the first stop. Sometimes not all the liquid comes out when I do that. Sometimes you have to push it a little bit beyond that to get it out. So that's when the second stop becomes useful. These are going to function similarly. So to change the volume on this, you just turn this dial right here until it reaches the volume you want. Here, this is going to be the biggest main difference with these. So with this, instead of a dial right here, the dial is actually here. Now if I go to turn this, I'm meeting resistance and I can't really turn it. I could force it to turn, but you don't want to do that. These actually have a little stopper right here that you need to push up. So right now it is down. I push this up, and now I can turn this easily and set it to the volume I want. So I want it to be set for 750 microliters. So the other big difference with this is that instead of 3 numbers, this actually has 4. So the 1000th digit is 0 because I'm only doing 750 microliters. So 0750 for 750 microliters. And then it's going to function the same way. I put the tip on, I put it into the liquid, I pipette it up, I pull it out, I put it into liquid, push it out, and then I eject it into here. These P200s are going to function very similarly, except these digits are the hundredths digit on the top because it only goes up to 200 microliters. So right now it says 100, it's set to 100 microliters. And the P20 is similar, except that instead of going all the way up to 1,000 or 100, it's only going to a 10 digit. So I have a 100, meaning that's 10.0 microliters. In class, we will be practicing using the micropipettors and pipetting the correct volumes for it. We will also be testing the accuracy and the precision of these instruments, and then actually comparing the accuracy and precision of them as well. So I will see you in class.